What we saw in that edition of Champions Trophy was total domination by Team India. Pakistan came into the tournament as the lowest ranked team at number 8. Not only that, they got humiliated by India in their first game. The biggest hurdle that Team India faces is the star power. The only thing that I would expect and hope them to do is to not give too much respect to teams like India. I'm most excited about watching Afghanistan play, but if you put a gun to my head and ask the two teams that will qualify, I think I'll have to go with. Welcome back to another interesting discussion. My name is Amir, and you're watching my channel Calling the Shot. Champions Trophy is around the corner, finally making its long awaited return. But what makes this trophy so special? Why do fans love it so much? Let's dive into the Champions Trophy and find out why it's one of the most unique and exciting event. चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी की शुरुआत हुई बांग्लादेश से in 1998 with ICC's hope to globalize this game into the uncapped markets like Bangladesh. But what made this tournament so special was its knockout format, meaning you lose one game and you're taking the flight back home. South Africa surprisingly came out victorious in the first event, claiming its first ICC trophy and to till date the only ICC trophy that they have won. और वहां से आईसीसी नॉकआउट ट्रॉफी पहुंची नायरोबी कीनिया, another uncapped destination. And it made a lot of sense because back then Kenya used to be a very promising team. We also saw two very talented youngsters making debut for India. I'm talking about Yuvraj Singh and Zahir Khan, who showed glimpses of what youngsters from India can do. Unfortunately, that was not enough because in the finals, Chris Gaines spoiled the party and scored an undefeated century, winning New Zealand their first ICC Champions Trophy. ICC Knockout Trophy became an instant hit. However, ICC felt the need of changing it from a knockout format to a group stage with only top 10 test playing nations qualifying for the ICC's third edition of Champions Trophy. It was hosted by India, and we saw another very promising performance by a youngster. Virinder Sehwag ended up scoring most number of runs in the third edition of ICC Champions Trophy held in 2002. Unfortunately, rain played spoiled sport, and the trophy was shared by Sri Lanka and India. Till date, this is the only trophy in the ICC event that was shared. The fourth edition of ICC Champions Trophy was hosted by Home of Cricket England, and we saw one of the most thrilling finals between England and West Indies. West Indies ended up clinching the finals thanks to the ninth wicket partnership of more than 80 runs. Unfortunately for England, they lost their fourth consecutive final. The next two editions of ICC Champions Trophy saw the greatest white ball team in the history of cricket win consecutive titles. I'm talking about Australia, who won the next two events in 2006 and 2009, making them the best team in the ICC Champions Trophy. By 2013, ICC was not sure if they want to continue with Champions Trophy because of the arrival of T20 and their interest in the Test Championship. However, those plans got delayed, and ICC had to persist with the 2013 edition of the Champions Trophy. What we saw in that edition of Champions Trophy was total domination by Team India. India won the finals and all the matches before the finals. In the finals, they defeated England in a very close game, a nail biter of a final, making MS Dhoni the only captain in the history of cricket to win all three ICC events, including the T20 World Cup, 50 over World Cup, and the Champions Trophy. The 2013 edition of Champions Trophy was so successful that ICC had no option but to continue with the next edition, which was in 2017. In 2017, we saw a fairy tale of a story. Pakistan came into the tournament as the lowest ranked team at number 8. Not only that, they got humiliated by India in their first game. What did Pakistan do after that? They surprised themselves and played a brand of cricket which was so compelling to watch, and they ended up winning the finals, beating their arch rivals India. thanks to performances like a century from Fakar Zaman and a fierce spell of bowling from Mohammad Amir. After 2017, ICC decided to discontinue the Champions Trophy as they wanted to focus more on the T20 World Cups and the Test Championships. Just when we thought that we had done and dusted with the Champions Trophy, back in 2021, ICC announced the return of the Champions Trophy with the hosting rights given to Pakistan for the next edition of Champions Trophy to be played in 2025. In 2025 edition of Champions Trophy, we have the top 8 teams that qualified for the event. There are two groups. In Group A, we have Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and New Zealand. And in Group B, we have Australia, South Africa, England, and Afghanistan. Let's see how the 11 looks like for each team. Let's make some predictions. Let's quickly take a look at Team India and their 11. On paper, team looks fantastic. I don't see them not making into the semi-finals. However, the biggest hurdle that Team India faces is the star power, and due to which they are not able to play more talented players, likes of the Yashasvi Jaiswal. He should not be sitting in the dugout. He's in the form of his life and he should be playing. But unfortunately, I don't see him playing. And that can be one of a problem because likes of Rohit and Virat Kohli is going through a very rough patch, although that is in a totally different format and both of them have done better reasonably compared to the test format. But the beauty of the Champions Trophy is that you just fail in one match and you're done and dusted, pack your bags and go home. That has happened with us in the T20 World Cup in Dubai, and it can happen again. So you cannot write off any team. All right, now let's quickly take a look at New Zealand. On paper, you will think of them as a dark horse. They always go into any event as a dark horse and they always overperform, and that's what I expect from them this time too. The bowling looks depleted for sure. There is not a lot of great spin options other than Michael Santner. But in my opinion, batting covers it. They have some great top order batsmen in Kane Williamson, Sachin Ravindra, and Daryl Mitchell. I do see that they have some flaws when it comes to bowling, but I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to give a very tough fight to any team that they play. And as always, they're going to overachieve in this tournament as well. The only thing that is going against them is that they do not have a great record against Pakistan. So that will be a match that I'll look forward to, and that match might decide who qualifies to the semi-final. Let's quickly take a look at the Pakistan 11 now. You have Saud Shakil opening with Fakar Zaman, which is a great choice since Saeem Ayub is not available. Then you have Babar Azam and Kamran Ghulam at number 3 and 4. You have the captain at number 5 in Rizwan. Salman Ali Agha guaranteed will play number 6. Depending upon the pitch, they'll either be playing Fahim Ashraf or Khujdil Shah. Number 8 will be Shaheen. Number 9 will be Abrar, the lone spinner. Then have Naseem and Haris at number 10 and 11. They'll be expecting Salman Ali Agha to do well in the spin department because they are lacking in the spin department and they would heavily rely on the curator to provide them the pitches which nibbles a little and there is something for the fast bowlers because other than that, they are going to have a tough time playing on either the flat tracks or the spin friendly tracks. So yeah, when I look at the Pakistan squad, I am not convinced, but again, Pakistan can surprise you and always a dangerous team. Now let's quickly take a look at Bangladesh. People underestimate this team. This team on paper and skill-wise is very good. Now, does that mean that they're going to reach the semi-finals? No, but they're going to spoil the party for one team or the other in the Champions Trophy. I expect them to win one game for sure. They can surprise New Zealand or Pakistan. I'm telling this to you. Their bowling lineup, they have some great talent in Nahid Rana, Taskeen Ahmed, Tanzim Hassan. They have a lot of variety to pick from. Out of four, they'll be playing two or three depending upon the pitch. They have some decent spinners. They have some decent all-rounders and their batting looks promising as well. Look at Jakir Ali. Mehdi Hassan Miraj can bat and bowl. You have Rishad Hussain, a fantastic spinner too. The only thing that I would expect and hope them to do is to not give too much respect to teams like India. You have to play aggressively and you have to play like you're playing Sri Lanka every time. Have faith in your ability and just go and give your 200%. But if you put a gun to my head and ask the two teams that will qualify, I think I'll have to go with India as a sure shot qualifier, and I'll be picking New Zealand. Although I hope that Pakistan proves me wrong because I would want to see Pakistan qualifying to the semi-finals, and we get a chance to see another India-Pakistan match, hopefully in the finals. But realistically, the kind of team that they have chosen and the kind of form that they are in, I expect New Zealand to win and qualify to the semi-final. All right, let's quickly take a look at Afghanistan now. I'm most excited about watching Afghanistan play because every tournament they show a different level and they have a fantastic team. Look at the spin department, especially. You have Noor Ahmed, you have Rashid Khan, you have Ghazanfar, and then you have a decent fast bowling department in Farooqi as well as Umarzai. I hope you have seen Atal, who is a fantastic batsman, a left-hander who made through the under 19, and he's doing great things. You have Gurbaz, fantastic player. You always have Nabi and Naeeb, two experienced campaigners. So Afghanistan is a threat to reckon with. I expect them to give very difficult time to all the teams in their group, and I will not be surprised if they reach the semi-final. Now, let's quickly take a look at South Africa, led by Temba Bavuma. You have Markram, who will be opening with him, most probably. You'll have Rossi at one down. You have Stubbs at number two, followed by, in my opinion, the best middle order batsmen in Henrik Klassen and David Miller. Jansen would be the all-rounder, and then number eight, I expect Rabada and Ngidi to do the bowling duties with Maharaj and Shamsi as the two spinners. On paper, this looks like a very strong team, but their nemesis have been their batting. They have a fantastic middle order. If they can give decent amount of runs and spend some time on the wicket and give last 20 overs or 25 overs to Klassen and Miller, I think they'll be set to go long in this tournament. So it will depend a lot on Markram and Rasi to play long. Other than that, I think they have a very balanced squad. But the challenge would be how they play spin. So if they play spin well, I think they'll be fine and they'll make it to the next stage, that will be the semi-finals. Now let's quickly take a look at the world champions Australia. I expect a slight change in the batting order. Head would be opening with short. I don't think they'll be playing Mitchell Marsh. Smith will be one down, and either Inglis or Marnus will be playing at number two. Maxwell and Stoinis would be playing at number five and six, and they have a great record in Asia, so I think they'll be playing number seven, Alex Carey, and number eight, Cummins, Hazelwood, Stark, Zampa. They'll be the bowling order that is going to be consistent. With Australia, you always know that you're going to get a team which is going to give its 200%. They never flinch and they always bring their A game to the World Cups. Their fielding is always top notch. I think they rely a lot on Travis Head. And that is something they have to change if they need to win this kind of a tournament, because in this kind of tournaments, you have one bad game and you're done. It's just that they need to put runs on the board. And I don't know if Smith and Labuschagne and Inglis have the pedigree to be able to do that in the white ball format, with all due respect to them. So let's quickly take a look at England squad now. The England squad has a good depth when it comes to batting. A lot of batting, as you always expect England to have, but I don't see enough variety in bowling. They do have Adil Rashid as a good spinner. I don't see a lot of skill in the bowling. All the other bowlers are kind of in the same dimension. So that is one big issue. Another big issue with England is the template with which they play, and that's why they would rely heavily on Joe Root to play that anchor role. If he does not play that anchor role, I don't see them making big scores, because we have seen that in playing aggressively, they consistently keep losing wickets, and that is why a player like Joe Root will have a huge role to play. Okay, let's make some predictions for Group B. It's a group of death, so predicting is going to be a lot more difficult. But if I have to pick, I'll go with Australia and Afghanistan, only because I feel if there is any turn on the pitch, it's going to be very difficult to beat Afghanistan. They have a fantastic bowling lineup. It's just a gut feeling that I'm getting that they're going to go to the semi-finals along with Australia. I hope you enjoyed the journey that I took you on. I hope you liked my breakdown and my prediction. Now it is your turn to give your prediction in the comment section. Give me any feedback you have, and I'll be bringing another interesting video for you guys. Until next time, goodbye.